Let's not mention the providers that give SaaS, but just give me, SaaS has been around for a couple of years now.
Yes, it has been.
Just give me some of the major names that are using, some of the companies that are using SaaS effectively right now.
Right now, I mean,
Yes.
to my knowledge, Arab National Bank uses
MashaAllah,
SaaS.
okay.
I mean, one of the big providers.
Okay.
The organization where I work as a consultant, for
Okay.
example, now the Ministry of Education, the إدارة التخطيط والسياسة,
Okay.
we wanted to prototype a business process management tool. And we wanted to convince the top management that, okay, look, we need to go in for this. Now, how would we do that? We wanted to create a proof of concept. Now, to do that, I need to get the right kind of servers. I need to have the right kind of bandwidth. I need to get the database. And all that would mean not just money, but a big lead time and sourcing. And how it is in the government, with all governments, for example. Sourcing is not easy. I mean, you have to go to the purchase department and what have you. So now what we did, we signed up with Amazon Web Services, which is one of the most popular of those web services. At about $200 a month, we have the server up and running. We're running some trial versions of the software on it. And very soon we'll have the manager saying, okay, go ahead, Mushtariyat, publish the RFP, and get a hold of the rest of the stuff. This was unthinkable a few years ago.
When SaaS is provided to a company, what else is provided as a package with this?
Well, you see, today SaaS has been evolving.
Okay.
What just started off as a mere hardware and mere software tools like the database and certain out-of-the-box applications like CRM or you know, what we call travel management systems. Today SaaS has been evolving, metamorphosing, and it's been morphing into different things. We have a thing called MBAS today. It's Managed Business Administrative Service. They not only give you the software, they also take care of the backups, the storage, the restoration,
Nice.
the disaster recovery. They do everything for you. They negotiate with the providers. And this is really what is the in thing happening today. With SaaS evolving, now we have Microsoft offering what is called software plus services. I have a HR system in my office, and I use it in-house, or they call it in-premise software, on-premise software. Now I need to connect with some software that's available on the web. Like, for example, in my HR, if I want to renew the iqama of somebody, I need to connect to the Ministry of Information's website, from where I need to be able to post the information and then start the process. Now, you could have an in-premise software running and a software running on the SaaS cloud, as we would call it. So you could have both these things working together. That's what Microsoft calls software plus services. So you have SaaS now evolving into so many different forms, as we would call it. All of it is aimed at making life easy for people.
With the let's say implication of SaaS within an institute or a company, should there be, let's say, regular updates, things to know? Or will there be reports from the company who's providing SaaS? Will there be absolute reports that will be provided to the company that's subscribed with it?
Yeah, of course. That is an important part, that before you subscribe with anybody who provides software as a service, as we will call it, you need to be able to negotiate with them, what kind of data security they have in place.
Okay.
It's like when you go and leave your valuables and your money with the bank, you're sure that somebody is not going to come and take it away.
Yeah.
So that's when you're trusting your data with a SaaS provider. You've got to make sure there are certain standards.
There is an insurance policy as well.
There is an insurance policy that you could get into, provided the insurance companies are willing to guarantee that.
Oh, okay.
But at least this far, there hasn't been any kind of what we say reports of data with SaaS providers being compromised this far. Not that it cannot happen, anything can happen.
Yes.
But what we are talking about now is to ensure that the people whom you are going to trust your data with are people who have the right kind of data security policies in place. There are some standards called SAS 72, and there are certain other standards which, if the SaaS provider has received certifications for those standards, you can trust him than a SaaS provider who doesn't have those standards.
Can SaaS be taken as a good product?
No, SaaS really is not a product. SaaS really is a service. SaaS really is a concept. It's a paradigm shift, essentially.
Okay. And supposedly when it comes to the services, that comes the upgrading of SaaS, the whole institute. Is that part of the package, or is that the responsibility for the company?
That depends on how you negotiate with your SaaS provider.
Oh, okay.
One of the things that you need to insist on with your SaaS provider is, look, today I'm hosting my software with you. Perhaps I grow big, and then I'd like to have everything in-house. I don't want to depend on somebody outside. At that time, I need to migrate my data back into my in-premise data center. You need to negotiate the service level agreements with the SaaS provider making sure that migration back to in-house will not mean losing all that you had stored with him. So it all depends on how you negotiate with
Nice,
your SaaS
mashallah.
provider.
And I mean, finally, what can you tell us about SaaS as your, let's say, advice to people who want to subscribe with SaaS or people who do have SaaS already? Should they revise the subscription that they've got? Should they look for better services if they're not satisfied? Just a general advice to finalize the whole thing.
Yeah, essentially SaaS is something that's evolving, and anything that's evolving is bound to be having a couple of hiccups.
Yes.
Everything is not going to be perfect.
Of course.
Al-kamal lillah, as they say.
Yes.
So what we need to understand is that you need to choose the provider very carefully. You need to look at the pedigree of the provider, how much of the infrastructure he has in place, what is his track record, how has he performed over the past. And then it all depends, and again, like I say, I re-emphasize this point, how much of the service level agreement is clear before you actually sign up, and how much do you trust that he would live up to that. Rules and regulations and laws of the land will also help in this respect. So nothing exists in a vacuum, as you say.
MashaAllah. Mr. Khalid, Noor, Muhammad, thank you very much for your
My
time,
pleasure.
for being with us.
I hope I've been clear enough.
And of course, you're an IT consultant. And just a reminder to your viewers, if you need any information regarding SaaS or anything, we'll be directing it to Mr. Khalid. If you just email us on uptodate.ksa2@gmail.com.